Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers, and welcome to an episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer. And today we are reacting to a statement made by Eric Adams, and he's the mayor of New York. Mayor Adams made a statement about drill rap, and he wants to do what he can to ban drill rap. I don't know if he's actually going to go ban it or what he's going to do, but he gave a press conference, so let's kind of watch the press conference, and then we'll go back on the other side and we'll talk about what the law is and what the article says and how this impacts your listening pleasure.
And I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son, and he sent me some videos.
How are you in Brooklyn? How are you in one of the most famous drill scenes in America as the mayor and not be familiar with the murderous shit that's going on and know what drill rap is? A little out of touch, maybe.
And it is alarming. And we are going to pull together the social media companies and sit down with them and state that you have a civic and corporate responsibility. You know, I mean, we pulled Trump off Twitter because of what he was spewing. Yet we are allowing
That's not true, actually. They did not pull Trump off of Twitter. Twitter pulled Trump off of Twitter.
Big displaying of guns, violence. We're allowing it to stay on these sites because look at the victims.
We're allowing it to stay on these sites. You don't have the power to allow or disallow anything on any site.
We're bringing them in. We're going to show exactly what is being displayed, and we are alarmed by it. We are alarmed by the use of social media to really over-proliferate this violence in communities.
Okay, so that was the public comment that he made. I'm going to read you a little bit of the article from Rolling Stone. There's a vibrant, exciting music scene happening in New York City. And newly elected mayor Eric Adams isn't happy about it. In remarks to members of the press, Adams expressed concerns about drill rap, the music subgenre that has flourished in his home borough of Brooklyn over the past half-decade. He characterized the music as alarming, linking it to gun violence, and appeared to put further blame on social media companies. Now, he can do that. I mean, he can go to the social media companies and say, take this down, or whatever. You know, he can try to implore them. But we have what's called the First Amendment in the United States. And the First Amendment guarantees free speech. Not all speech. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater, for example, right? But this drill music is art. I mean, it is an expression. I mean, so you're going to ban drill? Okay, what about all these gangster movies? You know, they're really very similar in terms of they just happen to attract kids, right? So when you look at the First Amendment, well, why doesn't the First Amendment apply to Twitter? Why doesn't it apply to, you know, why can Twitter yank Donald Trump off of their network? Well, because they're not state actors. They're private companies. The First Amendment and the restrictions are really restrictions on government action. So when you have a guaranteed right, like the right against search and seizure, if I come and take something out of your home, the Fourth Amendment doesn't apply in that context. Maybe other laws apply, but the constitutional amendments and all the rights that are contained within the Bill of Rights and you know the amendments that we're talking about here and the First Amendment are specifically talking about restrictions on government action. So, for example, if the mayor decided to put an end to drill music in New York City, that's the only place he can do that, you would expect a challenge to his action based upon a First Amendment protection. Let's continue to read. We pulled Trump off Twitter. No, you didn't. Adam said, yet we are allowing music, displaying of guns, violence, and we're allowing it to stay on these sites. Now, what do I think? Do I think that some of this drill stuff is getting a little kind of crazy? It absolutely is. But is it the root cause? That isn't the root cause. I mean, you've got the record companies putting this shit out there are just as responsible as the people actually making it. But here's the other part of this. It's what's going on, right? I mean, it's what's going on in the streets. So is it life reflecting art, or is it art reflecting life? Which is it? Adams acknowledged that his concern about drill rap is relatively recent. I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son, and he sent me some videos, and it's alarming, he said. We are going to pull together the social media companies and sit down with them and tell them you have a civic and corporate responsibility. Well, they do. And so that approach, I guess, is the right approach. Adams' remarks are in line with anti-rap messaging from police and prosecutors across America. In recent years, a trend that has been decried by artists, legal scholars, and free speech advocates. But the mayor's distaste for drill goes beyond his own police force. Now, here's the thing. If I'm a cop, do I want them to stop making drill? No. Why not? Self-snitching, right? I mean, they talk about what's going on in the street, and we know, don't we, that cops are watching. The feds are certainly watching, and people have gotten busted because of their social media posts. But just ask New York Police Department Deputy Chief Joseph Galata, who recently told the New York Daily News that it's a mistake to blame the music for several recent shootings involving Brooklyn rappers. These are gang shootings. I think sometimes rap and the lyrics ignite, cause some issues, but I don't think that's the underlying motive at the end of the day, and I don't disagree with that. Since beginning on the south side of Chicago in the early 2010s, drill music has frequently been criticized by censorious listeners censorious listeners who see its bleak sounds and menacing lyrics as dangerous. Over in the UK, some drill acts have infamously been forced to seek police permission before recording the music. That's why they're always have masks on, if you remember some of those other reactions I've done. Here in the United States, the First Amendment to the Constitution bars government officials from restricting artist expression. A clause has been widely understood to protect depictions of violence in books, films, paintings, and songs, even ones that sound scary on YouTube. So, I mean, I am totally against putting any guns on YouTube. I mean, putting a gun in a video where there's a reaction video, I just think is plain wrong. But the First Amendment is protected, and you're not going to take away my First Amendment without trying to infringe on my Second Amendment rights. So I just think this is interesting because on the one hand, you got the mayor saying we want to get rid of this drill, and then you've got Jay-Z and some other folks who are trying to get laws passed saying that you can't use the lyrics in a case, which that'll never go anywhere, to be honest with you. So, just wanted to give you an update on something that happened on Friday, and it's a movement. The mayor's trying to make the city safer, and he's trying to decrease the violence. And this is just another soundbite from a politician who knows nothing about what he's talking about. And it would be nice if he knew what the fuck he was talking about before he starts spouting off on it. But it is what it is. So let's see what your comments are. And like I said, freedom of expression is what basically founded this country. First, the amendments that we have in the Constitution are absolutely incredible when you think about it, because I don't think any other nation has the protections that we do like we do. I mean, there are other nations that have freedoms, but not spelled out like we have it. The First Amendment is the right of free speech or assembly. Second Amendment, right there. You've got the Fourth Amendment, unreasonable searches and seizures. Fifth Amendment, right against self-incrimination. Sixth Amendment, right to a trial, right to a counsel. So we have these protections, and the government cannot intrude on them. And that is what they are all about. So this is just a quick update on Mayor Adams' war on drill that won't go anywhere because it'll take one small little challenge and, they'll be put back in their place. However, if, the reason that Donald Trump got taken off of Twitter was because that's a private company doing his own private thing. And, they have the ability to do that. That's why they have standards and practices and, that's why, like if I get copyrighted, they can take it down. Or, JCS. I don't know what happened there, but they took his stuff down. They have the right to control their own airwaves. They just do. And so if they decide that the drill is too much, but they're not going to. And why aren't they going to? Because they're making a lot of cheese. They're making a lot of bank off of these guys. And so, they're just getting millions and millions and millions of views, millions of dollars, millions of advertisers. So that is my 2 cents worth on Mayor Adams, and I think it's a good thing what he's doing. I think it's laudable that he's trying to do something, but he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And so it'd be nice if he did before he put his foot in that water. And coming from a former cop, which is what he is, a former cop, I'm shocked that he doesn't know more about drill. This is not new. He lives in New York. I know about it. And if I know about it here in the Midwest, he should know about it. He's a former cop, for crying out loud. Anyway, so this is Bruce Rivers, Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like and follow. And follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all those other sites that he's talking about. And maybe next time we'll have even more guns. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.